On the 11th of March 1943, the British H-class destroyer HMS Harvester is sailing as an escort of convoy HX-228 when she is torpedoed by a German U-boat and sinks in less than 15 minutes. 9 officers and 136 sailors are lost in what is now the very forgotten story of the HMS Harvester. Originally ordered by the Brazilian Navy from the Barrow Yard of Vickers Armstrong as Jurora, she was laid down on the 3rd of June 1938. However, just a year and 3 months later, she was bought by the Royal Navy following the start of the Second World War. Renamed Handy, she would be launched on the 29th of September 1939 and then renamed Harvester in January 1940, before being commissioned on the 23rd of May that same year. Being an H-class destroyer, she had a tonnage of 1,350 long tons, a length of 323 feet, a beam of 33 feet, and a draught of 12 feet. She had an armament of 3 QF 4.7-inch Mark 9 guns, 4.50 caliber machine guns, and 4 21-inch torpedo tubes. After being commissioned into the Royal Navy, the Harvester joined the 9th Destroyer Flotilla. The destroyer joined the Dunkirk evacuations on the 29th of May and returned 270 men to Dover during the day. However, the situation at Dunkirk soon became too dangerous to send out the brand new modern destroyers into the war zone, and as such, Harvester made no further attempt to evacuate anyone during the daylight hours of the 30th of May. This decision was however revoked during the evening hours of the 30th of May. During the early morning hours, she sailed for Dunkirk. En route, she was narrowly missed by 2 German torpedoes, and in total managed to rescue over 1,300 men in 2 trips on the 31st, and an additional 600 during the 1st of June. Harvester was lightly damaged by strafing German fighter aircraft that same day and required repairs that were made in Chatham Dockyard. On the 9th of June, the ship was ordered to Le Havre, in France to evacuate British troops, but strangely, none were found. She did load 78 men at Saint Valery and Cour, please excuse my horrible French accent, on the 11th. Later in the month of June, she escorted ships evacuating refugees and troops from Saint-Nazaire and Saint-Jean-de-Luz, or otherwise known as Operation Ariel. From July to September 1940, Harvester served with the Western Approaches Command, during which she rescued 90 survivors from the sunken armed merchant cruiser HMS Dunvegan Castle on the 27th of August. The ship, together with 5 other destroyers of the 9th Destroyer Flotilla, were assigned to Plymouth Command for anti-invasion duties between the 8th and the 18th of September, before returning to her role as an escort vessel. On the 30th of October, helped by her sister HMS Highlander, sank the German U-boat U-32. Harvester rescued 19 survivors from the merchant vessel Silverpine, which was sunk by U-32 on the 5th of December, and 131 survivors from the ocean-boarding vessel HMS Crispin on the 3rd of February 1941. She then rescued 4 survivors from a downed RAF Armstrong Whitworth Whitley bomber 4 days later on the 7th. ship was refitted at Barrow-in-Furness between the 18th of March and the 18th of April, and was then assigned to Force H in Gibraltar and escorted ships during Operations Tiger and Splice in May 1941. Harvester was then transferred to the Newfoundland Escort Force in June as her anti-aircraft capability was believed to be too weak. She was then assigned to the 14th Escort Group upon her arrival at St John's on the 1st of July. The ship was then transferred back to the Western Approaches Command 3 months later, and was assigned to the 9th Escort Group. Harvester was converted to an escort destroyer during a lengthy refit at Dundee, Scotland, from the 30th of January 1942 to the 16th of April 1942. She conducted sea trials testing her new Types 271 radar during May, and then resumed her escort duties in the North Atlantic as flagship of Mid-Ocean Escort Force Group B3. Harvester returned to Liverpool for a refit between the 12th of December and the 11th of February 1943. Whilst escorting convoy HX 228 in the Western Approaches on the 3rd of March, Harvester detected U-444 using her new radar and forced her to the surface and proceeded to ram the U-boat in half. Harvester was badly damaged by the ramming, but managed to rescue 5 survivors after the submarine sank. The next day, she was sailing with the same convoy when, out of the blue, she was torpedoed by U-432 and broke in half within 15 minutes. The French corvette the Connaught rammed and sank U-432 herself and then rescued Harvester's 6 survivors. In total, 136 ratings and 9 officers were lost in her sinking. Her wreck lies over 1,600 miles away from the nearest land in pitch black darkness. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's watched in the past few months of me doing these videos. I honestly didn't think I would get this far. I thought this would just be a silly little channel which I'd do for a while and get bored of, but obviously not. I really appreciate every single one of you, and have a good week, and I'll see you next Wednesday.